Merry Christmas, everyone. I have something to share with you. It's this poem of the night before Christmas. But the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Wait a minute. There's a young man by the name of Larry Ryser who has done this poem in a slightly different manner. And I'd like for you to hear what he has to say.
"'Twas the night before Christmas. I was lonely at sea, away from my friends and my family. Feeling sorry for myself because of my plight, I settled down for a long, lonely night. When out on the deck I heard such a clatter, I sprung from my bunk to see what was the matter. I ran through the galley with all of my might. I stepped out to find a cold winter's night. The moon shone brightly, sending down its white glow, causing crystals to sparkle in a new fallen snow. When what was this? Were my eyes playing a trick? Up on the forepeak, 8 reindeer, St. Nick. As I stood in amazement, he beckoned me near, assuring my safety, saying no reason to fear. As I approached him, he asked me why I was sad. "'Tis Christmas Eve, you should be glad." I proceeded to tell him how things just weren't right, away from my family on this Christmas night. He listened intently to what I'd said, then turning around, he nodded his head. "I have something to show you," he said, looking grim. "If you get in the sleigh, our trip can begin." We rode in silence, moving quite fast, then turning to me, he spoke at last. "So you're all alone? You don't think it's right? I've got some people to show you and how they'll spend this night." So it went on. Each stop was the same. The hungry, the sick, the blind, and the lame. There are those who had never known a good meal. There are those with sicknesses too bad to heal. There are parents too poor to buy their kids toys. No dolls for the girls, no trucks for the boys. And the elderly so lonely just sitting there, no one to be with, no one to care. So it went on through the night. Another stop, another terrible sight. And when at last we'd finished our trip, we turned around and headed back to the ship. When we had landed, Santa spoke to me, saying you should be thankful as you plainly can see, for even though you're alone on this night, you have your family, your friends, your health, and your sight. You have so very much. You're quite lucky, my son, but now I must go. There's much to be done. But do me a favor for Christmas it is, and give thanks to him whose birthday it is. I assured him his wish, and he gave a command. Away he took off with a wave of his hand. But I heard him exclaim as he rode out of sight, "Merry Christmas, my son, and to you a good night."
Thank you, Larry. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Ryser was one of the fishermen on Series 5 of The Deadliest Catch. And this Christmas card has been brought to you by the Commercial Fishermen's Festival of Astoria, Oregon. We just wanted to wish you a very Merry Christmas.